Here's another tip video, and this one I hope was done properly because I've edited it all together and I had a camera that worked all the way through. Actually a phone. I don't use a camera, can't afford one, but a phone that worked all the way through. Daniel didn't have a chance to do anything with this one, but I did it all on a tripod, so hopefully it'll come out and I'll have it finished to the end. It's not ready yet, but when it is, you'll see it. Hope you like the video. Okay, it's just a remote shooting, and this is the barbecue grill as I'm getting ready to go ahead and start my rib tips. It's getting right to the right point where I want to get the fires. If you can see the coals and the embers, it's kind of warm here. It's actually hot, okay? And when it's getting ashy on the charcoals, when you can see the white there, that's when they're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start loading the meat on there, and I can hope you can see this. I'm trying to focus this and get it straight with my remote control here. Okay, I'm going to start putting on the tips onto the grill now, bringing them over from the side, and lay them on there. I have to put my gloves back on again to do this. So I'm standing over on the side, and I only have 4 tips today. These are the moon oil tips, and I got the box from Super Fresh Market. And actually they're pretty big, so I'm only going to be able to put 3 on here at this particular time. And let these start cooking, I need this. And then I'll go ahead and put the rest on there as they get a little bit done. And I'm working with this to try and get something going and get it going on. This is what they look like now. And the flame's heating up, and what I'm going to do is cover these up and let these cook for a little while. I don't want the flames to come up there too bad. I just want them to kind of cook like that. And we're going to come back. Hi, how are you doing? Good. Okay, we're going to stop right now, and then we're going to go ahead and change something different. What did I do with my remote? Gotcha. Okay, so I'm coming around to the other side. This is one of the things that I've noticed is that I've gone ahead and try and do this remotely. My remote starts it, but it also stops it. So I'm going to have to use my finger to go ahead and pause it. So right now, because the ribs were in the oven for a little long time, I was watching some NCIS Los Angeles, and so it's going to cook a little bit faster. I already have a hot spot. I already have a hot spot, and that's right here in the middle. So I'm going to have to watch these when I turn these. See how good that's cooking already? Cooking really good. This one is not cooking as well, so I'm going to have to watch it. Then we're going to have to move them and rotate these a little bit. The one on the side here, it's not doing well either. So I'm going to do like a piggyback. I'm going to take this one, put it over here, and this one over there, and this one over there. The next time I lift the lid, I'm going to let them cook because it looks like it's cooking pretty good. And the flame is starting to jump now. As you can see, you can hear it too. So what I'm going to do is cover that back up and let that go ahead and cook a little more. When you have a hot spot like this that's already in the center mass there, what you want to do is try and let that rib kind of cook. But they're going to have to come out individually, and they're not going to cook all at the same time. So we're going to keep on working like that. I'll be back in just a second and go ahead and try and do that rib again. And I'll be able to measure this as the smoke comes out. That's really good smoke coming out there. So I'll measure it as that and see what's going on. I'm going to take a minute just to show you. I made one move already, moving the one side from the other to the other. I like the way that smoke comes out. That's why I do this. Now, the one that is really cooking well is on this side now. And the one that was on this side is over here, as you can see. And we're doing the same there. And the one that was cooking very low on this side is now in the middle. I moved this one a little bit farther over because all the heat is coming from the middle one. So I have to watch the middle one. As you can see, it's coming up good there. That's going to wear my gloves because it gets kind of hot there. And let that one cook. I'm going to have to turn this again before I open the lid again. But you can see the one that is on this side is cooking really well. And that one's doing really good, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Okay, one more look at the turn, and then I'm going to have to stop the video because I'm going to have to do something differently. And I'm explaining that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? These are really looking good now. These are really looking good. See how that's coming along? this one is really the cold spot, so I'm going to have to move this one over here. Put this one in the center. And take a look at my tie here. See how these get. These get a little crispy on one part. So I'm going to let these cook again. Reduce the flame. And then the next time that I'm going to bring this back on, I'm going to be on the inside. And the reason that I'm doing this is the last time I shot a tip video, I didn't get a full, complete video. And that was because my camera busted up. Now I got a new camera, so I'm going to try and remotely stop this, and then we'll pick it up again on the inside when I start chopping these tips. Okay, now we position the tips inside. This is what happens when they sit for a while and they're resting. They haven't sat for a long while. I just kind of brought them in. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of the chopping for some of these, getting some of them out of the way so I can do this. I'm going to try and do this in some, however you keep it in focus. I don't have sticky, like I said, so I don't have a videographer, so I have to do it, kind of play it by ear. Okay, chopping the tips now. These are large order tips because they're large in their size, but it's not going to stay that way because what I'm going to do is cross cut again. Okay, that's about it. Okay, I'm working. Oops. Spark, you'll get those. Usually when I chop these like this, I get myself in between the floor and the tips and go ahead and chop. You can get an idea of how I'm doing it. Cross cutting this one, sometimes I have to smash and grab them. It's about time I get a new cleaver because it's just not cutting as sharp as I want. Okay, we're going to pause right here. Okay, I've chopped up one tip. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that video or not, so I'm making another one. I'm just going to show you the process of doing this. The handle and my blade, I'm just going to try. Okay, my cleaver's not as sharp as it used to be years ago, or I'm getting older. So I'll just have to get in the market for another cleaver. As you can see, we cross-second to make the smaller tips. The big tips we go ahead and break down into smaller ones. We work like that. And then as I finish this off, I'm going to put all of these into the pan over there, right here, and then cover them with sauce and put them back in the oven and let them cook again. And that's what's going to happen next. I'm just going to let this go and finish all the tips, and then we'll show you the oven process. Okay, this is what it looks like when I put it into the oven the second time. I covered that and I let it cook again and let it heat up in there. Don't cook it like 300 degrees, maybe 250, 275, something like that, for about a half an hour, maybe an hour. Sometimes I forget and leave it in there for a couple hours, but it's going to come out so tender when this has come out. The barbecue sauce that I have on here is a combination of the Sweet Baby Ray's, and then I had some barbecue sauce I had for my last batch of tips. And I kind of saved that in the refrigerator, so I put that in there for a little extra seasoning. So this is going to be really good when it comes out finally. I'm going to put this in the oven, then I'm going to go outside and make some burgers on the grill because the coals are still hot right now. And we'll be back with the final take. Okay, here we go. This is what they finally look like. These are the ribs that I began with at the beginning of the program, and now this is what they look like when they're just about ready. I'm going to put them back in the oven at 200 degrees just to keep them warm because I've got to take Courtney to the pool. And then we're going to come back this evening sometime and have a little rib tip. So I'm going to take some of these over to Dorothy Brown and Cleveland Brown. I told her I'd bring her something for Memorial Day since they've been cooped up with the pandemic for so long. So maybe they'll get some of these rib tips. Sorry, Kenny and Daniel, none here for you today. because you're not here. If you were here, you'd get some. All right, well, that's about it. That's a complete rib tip video from the beginning to the end. Okay, if you like this video, go ahead and hit like and hit subscribe if you want to subscribe to my channel. And you can also subscribe to Amina Parker's cat channel. She does these great cat videos, okay? But if you don't like the video, hit like anyway. Because I just like to get a lot of likes. Okay. All right. Until the next time, we'll see you again.